Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of the Red Raider Spotlight. I am talking with senior track and field star Kate Staab. Kate, thank you for joining us. And how are things going with you right now?
Pretty good. I am pretty much done with classes. I'm at home in Lincoln, kind of studying for my NCLEX boards, but otherwise lots of downtime with my family, and so pretty well. Finding a rhythm, which has been good.
What is that rhythm? What's a typical day right now in the last few weeks for you?
I usually wake up and work out. I've still been running, doing some track workouts because I don't exactly know how to be an athlete yet, or not be an athlete yet.
Right.
And then, yeah, I'll do like devotions and make breakfast. If I have any schoolwork, I'll usually do that. Um, I'll help my mom make dinner or hang out with my sister. So it kind of varies day to day, but I pretty much always start with a workout and Devo time, and then the rest is kind of up in the air. So
How has the coursework gone? Is it more work, less work? Yeah, talk us through that.
I think for me, it's been mostly less work. Primarily what I had left after I finished my clinical hours was discussions and then some big papers. And so once I knocked those out, which I kind of went at right away because I wanted to get them done, it's been a really manageable load. So that's been really nice, and I've enjoyed that.
I start off with a similar question. Take us through that day when you found out that Northwestern was going online and that there was going to be no outdoor track season. Take us through that. How did you find out? How did you react?
Yeah, so I was actually in my dorm room working on homework, sitting by myself, and I got the email. And then I had practiced early that day, so I wasn't at track practice because I thought I was going to have clinical, but then my clinical got canceled. And so part of me wishes I had been with my teammates because I know they all found out at practice. But I was in my dorm room, and then there ended up being like 10 women from my wing who came in, and we all just cried. And um, I felt really, really bummed, I think was just like the best word to describe that. So many feelings that like track was ending and school was ending and that I was leaving, um, and just like really unsure of how to feel about it. So initially it was just very overwhelming. And then also like that day was thinking like, well, I don't even get to say goodbye to a lot of my teammates because I wasn't at practice and we're not going to reconvene. So some of them I saw around campus, but lots of them I never got to give like a formal hug or thank you to. So that was hard.
How did you have closure with like your professors and some of your friends, not necessarily teammates, but some of the friends that you hang out with?
Yeah, I was thankful since I stayed on campus for a little while afterwards to finish hours. I got to see coaches and see like other classmates and peers and friends, and so I was really thankful for that time. Um, yeah, and I think just like a text or a letter that I wrote some people just acknowledging that, um, yeah, gratitude for the relationship that we shared, and sadness, but I think just that step of acknowledgement was a way that I got closure with some people. So,
When you reflect on your track and field career here at Northwestern, what are some of the high points for you? What are some things that you'll always remember and take with you?
um, I cherish my multi-teammates. So my freshman year, I had like 5 guys that I was with, and I was the only girl, and I just had like a bunch of brothers, and I loved it. Um, and then even this year, I had like 4 newbies join me, and that was so fun. And just a lot of memories with them, different times at practice, and getting to float to every part of the team, every aspect of the team. So I cherish a lot of those memories. I really cherish memories with my coaches. Coach VP and Coach Barkey specifically, I got to work a lot with, and I just have had a lot of cool conversations, and they just have been a really big part in my life. So I cherish those. I cherish good performances, obviously, and hard practices and the grit that those taught me. Um, yeah, so many things, I guess, to answer that question. But
Awesome. Think back to your high school years. When did you know that you were going to come to Northwestern, and what made that decision for you?
I remember visiting for Red 101, and we sang the doxology at praise and worship, and that was like I went to Lutheran high school, and so my high school sings the doxology after every football game and after every play performance and lots of things. And so that was just like this bridge of like the known and the unknown. And I felt so comfortable and excited about the place of Northwestern and my meeting with coaches in the nursing program. So that was kind of when I decided. I don't even know when I decided I wanted to run track specifically. It never feels like that was even a question that I wouldn't. So yeah.
When did you decide that you were going to do the multis?
Yeah, so I had a close family friend in high school who did the multis at Concordia. And I was like, that is just the coolest thing ever. Because in high school, I kind of bounced around from a small school, you kind of do everything. And I came to Coach Barkey when I first met him and was like, I would like to do multis if you are okay with that. I think it sounds awesome. And he was like, sure, sounds good. So got to have my whole track career as a multi, which is kind of unique. Most people transition from something else to a multi.
Is there an event in the multi that you were intimidated by or worried about?
High jump.
And how do you feel about it now?
I have a growing love for high jump. It was the most frustrating event for me, but I improved like leaps and bounds because it was also the most unfamiliar event. And so I couldn't outrun it. I had to have this technique, and it was really frustrating. But to see like where I started freshman year to like my PR at the end of indoor was really cool to believe that my coaches believed in me and the progress that we made together. So
What is some advice that you have for your returning teammates or an incoming freshman?
um, I think savor it is like really easily, especially in the season right now where it's not an option to be a thing, to be with your teammates. For me, I just miss practicing. I miss, yeah, practicing with my teammates and getting a good workout in with someone beside you. So really soaking that in and getting to know your teammates, not just like your small training group, but everyone on your track and field team. Because especially as a Red Raider, there's just this beautiful unity, and I know the coaches work hard to encourage that. And I challenge you to invest in that because I don't think I'm very thankful for the steps that I took to get to know my teammates.
What is your major or what was your major and how did you come about choosing that major?
Yeah, I am a nursing major, so I'll graduate soon with my bachelor's in nursing. And my grandma was a nurse, so I think it was kind of always like a thought. And I always have had an affinity for people and just love serving them and hearing their stories. And so it just kind of was like, yeah, I'll do nursing. And then as I got into the program, I just fell in love with the opportunity to serve in that capacity and the calling that I felt to that. So I'm really, really excited about it.
You talked about your coaches. Is there a particular professor or class that you remember or what impacted you?
It's really hard for me to choose one. All the profs, but especially my nursing profs, and it's hard for me to pick one of them because they're all very, very different. Tatum and Professor Nikki and Trisha, Dr. Dragstra, Dr. Carey, all of them have had different impacts on my life. And so I can't really pick one, but I think a favorite class was probably med surg, even though it was the hardest nursing class I ever took. It was really cool to focus and apply so much information and to grow so much in my knowledge, and to be learning it and be like, this is like such important information. Like this could be life or death, and just like the relevance of that. So, yeah.
What's next for Kate? What are you doing this summer and beyond?
Yeah, so for the next month of my life, I will be studying for my boards, but hopefully take them in early June. And then pending I pass, I will start my job in July. And I have a nursing position in the oncology department at Avera McKinnon in Sioux Falls, which I am stoked about, really, really excited about. And then in September, I will be getting married to Riley Bennett, which I'm very, very excited about. So yeah, that's my current, like, next 6 months of my life will take up all that. So
With taking boards, how is that working with our current situation of not being able to gather? Does that play a part in it or factor
yeah.
in it?
So testing centers were actually closed for a little while, so they've kind of had a backlog of people trying to test. And then they shortened the exam, so it used to be like 75 to 265 potential questions, and now it's like 60 to 150. And the centers like accommodate for 6 feet of social distancing. So they've definitely taken some measures, but obviously they still want nurses to be going into the workforce. So they're doing what they can. Yeah.
Good. We're going to end with a go-to section. I'm just going to ask some pretty simple questions and you just answer them. First answer that pops into your mind, go with it, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
What is your go-to food?
Chinese.
Which restaurant here in Orange City? Did you like the Orange City ones?
88, yeah. Very
Definitely.
good. Mm-hmm.
And then what is your go-to restaurant?
Doesn't align with my favorite food, but probably Chick-fil-A.
Fair enough. We don't have one in Orange City, but we need one.
No, yeah.
What is your go-to music or song or a singer?
Lately I've been really loving Chris Renzema, which is a like Christian artist. He's a little bit slower, but has some really good jams. So highly recommend.
Go-to movie?
Any chick flick, really. Hallmark, also a big Hallmark fan.
Okay.
Yeah, mixed
Moving
reviews on
on.
that.
What is your favorite go-to activity if you're not studying?
Oh, either a run or hanging out with friends and family, which doesn't always happen very often because they're kind of spread out.
Go-to vacation spot?
Oh, um, I will say somewhere by the water. Sure.
What is a bucket list thing that you want to do or place you want to go?
Oh,
I'm putting you on the spot. I didn't send this one earlier.
yeah. No, that's a great question though. Okay, I'll say skydiving. I don't know if that's actually a bucket list item, but actually, okay. I'm gonna run a half marathon this fall,
Okay.
which will be a little rough because I haven't gotten over 4 miles and it's like too far for me.
Where is
But
the
I'm
half
gonna do
marathon?
it. Yeah. What?
Where is it?
Hoping in Kansas City because I have a brother who's moving there, so I can stay with him. So.
Okay. You versus Coach Vanderplug in a multi. Who wins?
Probably coach.
Oh, come on, Kate. You can
Uh,
take him.
I believe in him. It'd be close. It just varied by event, so you'd really have to look at the overall score.
What event would you have the advantage in over him?
Shot put for sure.
And what event would he have the advantage over you?
Long jump.
Fair enough. Kate, thank you for joining me. This was a lot of
Yeah,
fun. Best of
thank
luck as
you.
you move on and to Sioux Falls and your nursing thing.
Thank you so much.
You bet.